How's it going, everybody? It's me, 11th US President James K. Polk here, and welcome back to Minecraft Survival. I'm sorry, friends, but you're gonna be jealous. Really jealous. Of course, you remember the beauty that we set up last episode. Well, this beauty? Yeah, I'm not calling it a beauty for nothing. The emotions you're about to feel, they're gonna range from sour to a brutal burning rage. Let me talk to you for a second about amethyst, because I am now the world's certified and #1 amethyst salesman. Look at all of this amethyst. We're set for days. I mean, it's kind of exactly like I called it. I said we were going to be set for days, and sure enough, we're set for days. Now, funny thing about all of this, I was planning on using a ton of amethyst in today's episode, like way more than you would ever know, to build this beauty. It's a beauty that I designed. It's a great, wonderful gunpowder farm. However, I've ruined the crops. I'm a terrible person, and I've ruined the crops. However, off on the sunrise line, if that's what you would call it over there, I think I want to set up something different. Up in the sky, like approximately that area, and maybe we'll use some amethyst shard, but definitely not one watl's inventory full of amethyst shard. Probably not. For now, amethyst, you wait here. We'll come back for you later. Today's the day. Wings, you're coming with me. Chestplate, you wait there. The exact opposite of the last adventure, today's adventure sees us beginning by building really high up into the sky. Maybe not that high, but like really high. I think I'm gonna build up from that hill right there. So, yeah, I would like to send a big shout out to my illiterate viewers today. That's right, make yourself known by commenting a word down. Wait a second, you can't do that. Anyway, today we are indeed building a gunpowder farm. You probably had no clue that's what we were doing because you couldn't read the title. But yeah, we're gonna build a gunpowder farm. While we build up to the base of our creeper farm, let's take care of today's comment of the day. As always, thank you all for the comments. But today's official comment is this one right here. It's all about the trapdoors inside of the amethyst farm. But the trapdoors, yeah, swap them out for a wall. Genius idea. However, stone wall. Like, I get the idea. It was probably like stone brick wall or something. But why don't stone walls exist? So, anyways, I'm an overachiever. I already passed my goal. 200 was the goal. I'm at 210. I think the higher we go, I mean, it's not going to cause us any problems. If we make this thing up a little bit higher, then it's like less caves loaded in, right? So I would say that this is a good thing. We need to begin by setting up a platform up here, and then what I think I need to do is make my way back down to the bottom of this thing and get rid of this horrendous pillar. I definitely don't want the pillar there. This platform needs to be at least a little bit big. I think what we might do is come back later on in the episode after we build the actual farm and maybe like expand the platform a little bit. But for now, this thing just needs to be a big enough target for me to be able to fly over to from the ground and land on. So a platform that is like 5 by 5. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. Let's go ahead and get rid of this pillar. Hey, wait a second. Trident, give me the trident. Copper. In a head. A consolation prize. My friends, I salute you, family. This could be the last time I see you ever. Please don't forget me. The big test, well, here goes nothing. From the landing platform in front of the Coliseum, we launch ourselves. We soar over to the platform. 2 rockets is very far away. The platform is in sight. We spiral and, oh, it's a smooth landing. Yeah, we land perfect, of course. Alright, so let's crack on with the build, shall we? So, first things first, we need a little bit of a setup up here. For this design that we're setting up today, I would like to send a big shout out to Jumper. I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from one of Jumper's creeper farm designs. That design, it looked pretty cool. We're gonna modify it for our build today. We begin today's journey with a small landing platform, or like dropping platform. What we're gonna do is build a creeper farm up in the sky above this thing. We drop them onto this block, and then instead of usually automating a creeper farm, what I think I want to do is take them out manually. I've got this really good sword with looting 3. I think maybe every once in a while, if I were to like come up in our world and just stand up here AFK for a little while, I'm willing to bet that I'm going to get more gunpowder from this sword than I would from setting up an AFK farm, because the caves down below this area, well, let's see, we'll put it this way. The caves down below this area are simply, they're caves, and they're dark caves. I'm not saying I haven't lit the caves up, but I am saying that I'm saying that I still haven't lit the caves up. Also, I mean, we always set up an automatic creeper farm. Why not try and set up a manual farm and see if it's actually worth it? All right, gosh, I know it's back to school time, but I don't have to do this anymore. Quick math. What we need to do is drop the creepers like 22 blocks onto this spot right here. So 211 plus 22. Oh, that's easy. Obviously, that's gonna be 254. I think, right? Yeah, 254. We'll go ahead and round down a little bit and end up with the number 231. 231. What we're gonna do is drop the creepers 20 blocks because I'm not sure, and I think at 20 blocks of this netherite sword that's down there and inside the hoppers, I think that's gonna be able to one-shot them, and if not, we shouldn't be at any risk, right? Like, if the creepers can't see us, I don't think they'll explode. For our next magic trick today, we need to solid this thing up. I'm thinking we could solid it up, at least to start, with a little bit of glass panes. Imagine being able to watch the creepers fall from the top to their eternal doom. Okay, maybe I'm a monster. Wow, with breathtaking sunrise views like this, yeah, you don't see those every day. I'd like to remind you to leave a like and subscribe. Liking and subscribing will give you good luck, and me good luck. That's good luck. So now the rest of this thing, I think I've cracked up a pretty good plan. What I'm gonna do is do a little bit of walls on the front to connect the glass panes, make that look good. Then when it comes to the sides, we take the same exact blocks that we used on the walls in the front and translate them into solid full blocks. Final layer is solid blocks to prevent any problems, and now it's time for even more math. So, if I want to make one side of this thing, like a flat side, 8 blocks long, and then I want this thing to be a complete and perfect square, from the middle, how many blocks do I have to move out? Like, how do I find that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that I would need like 6, 7, 8 over there or something. This needs to be like perfectly centered, 3 by 3. Oh gosh. Oh no. Couple small problems. Over here in a flat world, I have now realized that this is a 3 by 3, which means an 8 by 8 on the outside. Yeah, that's not gonna line up. So we're gonna change the shape. We'll go ahead and make the shape 11 by 11. I think that's gonna give us a little bit more room. On the inside of this build today, we're gonna need to set up spawning platforms. I wanna say that this should be big enough for a spawning platform, right? Like, we just do a couple of these over and over and over again. It's not really so much about the size as it is about, like, the amount of space, right? So that should probably work. And if all of that works, if it's all correct, that means from this thing, we need to go 3 blocks out, and then that's where the wall starts. Maybe. I guess we'll see. 13 by 13, that's what will actually make the walls. We make each wall 13 blocks long. That should be pretty good. Makes the platforms like kind of sizable. Now it's tinted time. But before that, it's water time. What are we looking at so far from the ground? I mean, yeah, it's starting to look kind of cool. Sweet. Tinted glass. So I smelted up a ton of this stuff. Hopefully we're gonna have enough. I want to see this thing live and in action, like, as much as possible. I think it's really cool watching a mob farm work. And so, to pull that off, I think what we need to do is tinted glass on the floor. Ah, so close. so close. Oh, man. Look, I don't know what it is with me and creeper farms, but every single time I set one of these things up, I get the urge, the desire, the burning flame. I have no option. This illegal obligation that we make this thing some kind of giant floating creeper. So, with the walls on this thing, now we need to set up some kind of way to spill the water all the way down to the middle from every single side. I'm thinking maybe something like that might work. Infinite water in the middle. Yep, there we go. That's a smart idea. So, let's say we were to move this thing up like a little bit more. Like maybe we have it spill down like that. We have the water up there. Is that gonna flow all the way to the middle? Oh, yeah. It sure looks like it. I think that's it. I love designing mob farms. Designing mob farms is so fun because you figure out things like this, and then it's just like, yes, 100%. Look at the water. It flows from each corner over to the middle. Almost. It almost works. Okay. What do we do about that? Because you see, if I dump one right there, I mean, actually, that's fine. Actually, if I dump one right there, that all flows over, that all checks out. I think that's it. Look, now that I think about it, if we have the water right there in the middle, maybe we don't have to go as high up on those sides right there. Maybe that's all gonna... It's all gonna work. It's all gonna work. We figured it out. Strategic fence gates placed down in the middle and opened up to, of course, let mobs through. And we're golden. Aside from water that is going to constantly freeze over until we put a ceiling on this, we're golden. The next step of our big creeper farm project today is going to be the actual spawning platforms. And believe it or not, with all of this stuff figured out, this is the easy part. It's all going to be really, really easy from here. But here's the thing. Before I can do any of that stuff up there, I'm gonna need wood, like a lot of wood, like stacks and stacks of wood, because for this design, it's trapdoors and even more trapdoors and a little bit of buttons too. I think we need a little bit less talking and a little bit more chopping. Hopefully this will be good. That's a lot of wood. While it was chopping, I thought about it a little bit. I think there is one more thing that I would like to do before we start setting up the platforms, and that is figure out the actual face, or like the outside shell of this thing. So, outside shell of this thing is pretty simple. It's a creeper. The not simple part is the fact that this is 13 by 13 instead of 8 by 8. Which means we need to reinvent the creeper. Reinvent the creeper. I think all I need to do is pretty much keep a similar vibe. I definitely know that I want to have some kind of border onto this thing, maybe like a 2-block wide border all the way around the creeper, top, bottom, both sides. I think that'll look cool. And then I know for sure that the creeper face, it's not actually built out of deep slate, that's just a temporary block. The actual face of the creeper will be built out of tinted glass. We'll put a dark green border on the top and the bottom, and then the lime in the middle. Maybe add a little bit of depth to it somehow too. But the question is my artistic rendition of the creeper. Is it gonna look good, or is it gonna look really, really weird? Please look good. Please look good. Please be at least passable. Please look good. And creeper. Terrible angle. Really bad angle. Hold on. And I'm also now realizing that I forgot to fill in the bottom, but it's fine. We can imagine it. Creeper phase. Are you good? Are you not? I think you're a little bit too stretched out, but other than that, I think we'll be good. If I move each side piece in a little bit more, instead of having a mustache, we'll have a mouth, then I think we'll look good. So what I'll do is I'll keep that in mind, come back and make some small adjustments to that, but I think we're pretty much good. Let's talk about the spawning platforms. For the sake of efficiency, we need as many spawning platforms as possible inside of this thing. But we also need space for the creepers to be able to jump into the water and flow out of the farm. Both of those considerations made, I think the first platform starts right there. I mean, if I were a creeper, I would jump down right here and I'd be flowing, and yeah, like I'm not even close to that thing. That should be good. Now, these platforms, I'm torn. I think what we need to do is save 2 blocks of space in between the edges, which means right there, that's good, and then on the front, that should also be good. So if all of my dimensions are correct in this part, that means each platform is 9 by 9. That would make sense. Now, to trick the creepers to actually jump off of these platforms, trapdoors. The creepers will see the trapdoor as a full solid block. As long as I place the trapdoors and open them, I think they'll willingly just basically like send themselves over the edge, fall down into the water, then be pushed over to the middle as long as the water isn't frozen. And so, as you could probably see, this is where things start to get expensive, because this is going to be a lot of trapdoors. Around the edge of every single side of every single platform, to of course maximize creepers jumping off of this thing, we're going to need trapdoors. It's stacks of wood, stacks and stacks and stacks of wood. Thought it stopped there, right? Like no more trapdoors after that. Well, that's where you're wrong. In the design we're referencing for this build, there are holes all over the floor as well. And wait for it, inside of these holes we have even more trapdoors. Yep, that's right, even more space for the creepers to decide to walk off of this platform. That's a lot of trapdoors. Now, spiders, they like to spawn too. I'm not sure if we're gonna actually need this, but we might need extra buttons in here too at these intersections right there. So maybe what I do is I build this thing without any buttons, and then if spiders are spawning and clogging this thing up, I'll come back in and add the buttons. But anyways, so that's one platform. Then what we need to do is move up 2 more blocks, cut out these 2 blocks, and basically set the same thing up again. We build a platform. Onto that platform, all the way around the edge again, trapdoors. Trapdoors placed. Now I need to go back around and close every single trapdoor. Or open the trapdoor. Which is it? Jump up on top of the next platform and do it again. Fill all of the holes with trapdoors. That's easy enough. Then once I've done that, run around and open all the trapdoors and then move on to the next platform, right? Like 2 blocks up, do it again. Well, that's where you're wrong. Then what we need to do is jump back down to the last one and mob spawning. Right now, when this is dark, Zombies, skeletons, and the creepers will definitely be able to spawn. To cut that out, we need to make it a little bit shorter, which, haha, oh boy, did I tell you about trapdoors yet? Yeah, we're gonna need even more trapdoors. I need to cover the entire floor, or the ceiling, whatever. Cover the entire ceiling with even more trapdoors. I'm crying right now, guys. I'm literally crying. Like, cover the whole ceiling with trapdoors like that. That'll cut out all of the other mob spawns. That's gonna be a lot of wood. Thinking about it now, I don't think I have enough. I'm gonna have to go farm more wood and to build more platforms. When I'm said and done with this thing, we're gonna end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 platforms total inside of this thing. Yeah, that's a lot of wood. Before I start grinding away and build the platforms and platforms and platforms, chop down even more trees. Almost jumped off of that, my heart stopped. But before I do all of that though, let's go ahead and take a look at the creeper face. Maybe on the outside of this thing, we come back and add a little bit of depth, like make this green part pop out a little bit. And if this works, I'll, of course, do it on the top and the bottom, not just the bottom. Go ahead and jump down off of this thing. We take a step back. We run, jump, stop in place, and execute a slow, dramatic spiral. A quick little zoom in back up until the creeper farm. It slowly slides into view, and the clouds are blocking it. The clouds are blocking. Why does this always happen? Every time I'm looking at something in this world. I mean, look, we can just at least get an idea of what we're looking at here. I think it works. The creeper face is way more like a creeper face now. Of course, we've got those big, giant eyes, the windows into the soul, if you will. But I think it's fine. And then maybe a ring along the bottom and definitely along the top. Yep, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be the exact gunpowder farm that we need. Now, there are like 5 things that I need to do. I need to plant trees and bone meal them so I can get a bunch of wood, so then I can make even more trapdoors. I'm going to need to find some more building blocks inside of the storage building for building, and I'm going to need a little bit more lime wool and a green wool for building as well. Now, speaking of wool and stuff, we're going to need a little bit more glass so I can build the glass parts too. We need a window on every side. In short, what it all means though is it's time-lapse time. Roll the music. One super productive time lapse later, then here we are. We're at the pinnacle. You could even say, I see no king up here other than me. So the view up here on top of this farm is absolutely amazing. I mean, look at the base. There's a circle there, there's a circle there, there's a circle there, there's a circle there. Yeah, you see a common theme. Genuinely, working on this project wouldn't have taken me so long if I wouldn't have gotten distracted by looking at the skyline and the view so many times. Now up here at the top of the farm, we have to remember to block spawns in this thing. When I AFK on the platform that I set up underneath this farm, no chance I want mobs spawning on top of it and falling on me, or just in general, spawning on top and spawning. Now, listen, you have to remember that this episode is a big test. We're almost at the big reveal moment, but this is a big test. There is, unfortunately, the chance that this farm is not very good. I've never built a creeper farm like this before. If you're planning on building this in your world, well then awesome, cool. We'll basically be twins and it'll be sweet. Can I dump water up here to get rid of the snow? I mean, I kind of don't see why not, right? Like, that'll be fine. But anyways, I will give you the definite results on this farm in next episode. The next time me and you meet up again, and when we meet up, I'll have the answer. Is it good? Should you build it? Or no? Okay, so this is the part of the episode where we really need to think about things. As soon as I fully close the ceiling on this thing, it's gonna be dark and creepers are gonna start to spawn, which means I need to get out of the inside of this thing before that all happens, and I also need to make sure the whole inside of this thing is ready to go. We should be good when it comes to trapdoors. When it comes to water down here at the bottom of this thing, with a ceiling on it around the edge now, I should be able to break this and it will always stay water, so that's good. Alright, so water is pouring everywhere. That's pretty cool. I think next up, over here in the bottom of this thing, we need to open the dropper. So remove the wool to jump down off of this thing, break that block right there, and then get on the outside of this thing. When we're on the outside of this thing, block it up. All right, that looks good. That should work. Now I'm gonna need a way to get back down onto this platform from the top of this thing. So, you know what? Maybe I just build straight up. So all of the trapdoors inside of this thing should be in their spot and open when they need to be and closed when they need to be. Tinted glass over the side of this thing won't let any light in, so that should be good. Only spot we might have problems with the dropper, but hopefully that's far enough away from the spawning platforms, which means all we need to do, theoretically, is close the roof all the way and then get a little bit away from this thing. Oh, it's dark in there. It's dark in there. That's great. Now, of course, when we're standing right next to this thing, we're way too close for the creepers to spawn. But once we start to move away from this thing, we should maybe have creepers spawning. Or at least maybe as long as this thing is actually working right. That's going to be the question. So, creepers, any creepers want to come out and just spawn? Go ahead, you do your thing and take your time, whenever you want. Now, I do know that a lot of the rates to this farm is gonna have to do with what's going on down here on the surface down below. Like, if I were to light up caves down below, we should be a little bit better, but you see that in there. There's something in there. I don't know why it's not falling, but it's in there. Patience, and creeper number 1 of the day. Yes. And I take it out one hit right there, and we're good. Now gunpowder, where you at? No gunpowder that time. All right, that's fine. My creeper friend that is sitting up at the top of this thing, what is it doing? I mean, there's only one thing that we can do, and that is climb up here and poke a window into the top and see. You're just swimming. You're swimming together against each other. Aw, that's sweet. I mean, look, so far, from the very little evidence that I've seen and things that I've heard, I'm hearing spiders, they're climbing, fine, whatever. But I'm also seeing creepers, they're falling. My friends, I think we have a go. I think we definitely have a go. We have a farm that is 100% producing creepers and absolutely producing gunpowder as well. It's a keeper, all right. The spiders are a problem, but it's a keeper. And so with this thing being a keeper, it's time for the final trick of the day. The final trick of the day has to do with this platform. Look, no offense, simply put, right now this platform, it is horrendous. It's really bad looking. We need to fix that. Oh, they just keep falling. they just keep falling every once in a while. And then all I need to do is walk over and take them out. Oh, it's so good. The gunpowder. Oh, we're already raking it in. Anyways, the platform is really bad looking. I think to make the platform look a little bit better, seeing as we're in the sky and all, is warped wood. We put warped wood as the floor all over this platform, make it like, you know, a little bit sizable, big enough for me to land on, maybe make it a big circle underneath this farm, and we'll be good to go. Dimensions, how big do we need this platform? That's a good question. That scares me every time. I will never get used to that. Dimensions, how big do we need it? Maybe like 5 blocks out from the middle, make it a circle. That should hopefully be big enough for me to land on. I guess I'll build the platform and then take a look. Oh, it's great. And the spiders kind of take themselves out too. I mean, that one's a little bit stuck, but other than that one, they just fall. Oh, easy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we got a keeper. I mean, I had to take a step back. From over here on the ground, I mean, look at this thing. This thing looks great. The eyes are huge on the creeper, and I absolutely love it. I love everything about this thing. But here goes nothing. The big test. This thing, will it work? We'll find out next episode. But the platform that I built, will that work? We will find out today. So if I fly over to it, can I land on this thing? I mean, it's pretty big. Oh, yeah. Piece of cake. We'll be able to land on that thing every single time. Look, it's really not much. I definitely need to set up a farm for warped wood or something, but the platform, this is what I ended up doing. I put a little bit of blue glass, some little decorations up here. I think that's nice. I'll probably end up leaving the bed up here. At the back of this thing, of course, the essentials, the stone cutter, the crafting table, the furnace, the trio. And then in the middle, the creeper farm. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. With this gunpowder farm set up in our world, if it's good, we can now actually start to use the elytra. Oh wait, there's something else that we need too. Well, anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about that one in the next one. Big shout out patron gang is CK, Rob, Michael H, and Doug. Thank you so much for the support. It's been me, your boy Waddles. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.